Well, I got a new wire running down here now that goes up into the headliner. I went ahead and just grounded it to the top rather than running a whole fresh ground into the bottom here, which is also looking a little bit different. I've got a couple new wires going to another junction block like I have in the back of the truck now, and the yellow and the orange are what's going up into this. One's constant power, one's an ignition power, and I got this mirror, and it obviously goes on this little stud here, and then this wire plugs into the back of it. And then when I turn the key on, I get a temperature readout. Sweet! And if I'm not mistaken, the compass works too. Yep, think so. And then I can shut it off, turn it back on, turn it back to temperature. Yeah! It is currently 6:12 in the evening, and right now I am about to change out all 8 of the spark plugs on this thing. Just because that's something I've been meaning to do for a while and just haven't gotten around to it. Alright, so these are all my new ones, AC Delcos. And let's see what the old ones look like. Well, that job's done. All the spark plugs have been replaced. So I'm done under the hood for pretty much right now. I need to get my fuse box cover back on. And I'm pretty much done in there. These are the old plugs. I had them all individually marked for their cylinder number. And as you can see, they were pretty well used. Well, honestly, I don't know how the dual spark ones look new, but I'm pretty sure they don't look this disgusting. And one of them, I think it was cylinder 3, I'm wondering about the integrity of that cylinder because of the oil on the inside and outside of this plug, and seemed to be dripping down the side of the head. Something to keep an eye on. And then while I was changing them out, I found out something else. The plugs, the wires going to the plugs for cylinder 5 and 6, the plugs weren't even snapped into the wire. Or the wire wasn't snapped onto the plug. They were just sitting there, like just barely connecting, and kind of explained something I was having a little bit of an issue with, and was going down the highway and trying to accelerate, and the engine would be cutting out on me a little bit. And it's like, what's going on? I think my fuel pump's going bad. No, I don't think it's the fuel pump, because we hooked it up to a fuel pressure tester up at my friend in Dallas, or Fort Worth, and the pressures were good. It was dropping off real bad after the first prime and after you shut the engine off, and I still don't know what's causing that really, but not supposed to do that. But it's also not supposed to be cutting out when you got decent pressure. So I'm hoping, now that I have both of those wires rehooked up and all new spark plugs, maybe it'll run a little more efficiently and not be cutting out on me. So we'll see. In the meantime, all of these are about to be thrown in the boxes just for the heck of it. And yeah, I gotta start putting the interior back together, because as it turns out, you can see it's getting pretty cloudy up around here. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so chances are, in order to get my windshield replaced, I'm gonna have to drive out to the shop, which is on the far north end of Longview, almost past, well, yeah, it is past the 63 and 502 split. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I think it's up on 259 actually. Oh well, we'll get it done. But yeah, I gotta clean this thing up. I'm gonna clear a little bit out. I might even pull the sub box out, take some pictures of it and list it on Craigslist and try to get rid of it. Although I've started looking at potential options for a sound system on this truck. What am I thinking? We'll see. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do something, but We'll see. There was something I wanted to check, though. I want to see if it's even possible to fit one of these Type R's under a seat. Because if they're too deep, then I know that I'm going to need to get rid of them. I should probably put these darn Rain-X things somewhere, too. Okay. Wow, it just barely fits. Well, if I get a down firing box, that could potentially work. Or get a front firing box, but the 12-inch front firing boxes sit out in front of the seats, and as you can see why. Yeah. Well, we'll see what I end up doing. I don't even know yet. So yeah, let's see if I can get this place cleaned up a little bit. I think it's time to put some new glass on the truck. Got it all ripped apart. Cool. Well, my old windshield has definitely seen better days. A bunch more cracks than were originally on it, but now, I pulled my visors off again, because, get out of my truck. Yeah, so we've got that. And now I've got a new windshield. There's a little bit of stuff on it. Oh, that's outside. Okay. Yeah, and it's starting to drizzle here, so I'm probably just going to shut everything up and let the glue dry with the headliner down so it won't stick to everything, and that'll be good. Ah, what did I do with my key? Unfortunately, I don't have the window visors on this truck like I did on my Blazer, so I can't exactly leave the windows cracked, but I can always just be nice to the door closing so I don't blow it out, and it should work. Turn this thing off. Yeah, and it is currently 3:06 in the afternoon. Yay. Alright. I figure if I want to go to somewhere tomorrow, I should not have a problem doing so. Well, we got an Alpine Type S in the back panel here. One panel at least. I managed to get this thing loose off the side of this truck, and I only broke one tab. I'll call that a win right there. And it was that one right there that was like right next to the back window glass. Yeah, you can see it's broken off, but yeah, so we got one S in here now. Moving a little bit. Stock speaker. Cool, cool, cool. And it looks like I'm replacing a 9.5 ohm with a 4 ohm, but hopefully the deck will like it. Because, I mean, this deck ran 4 ohms in the back doors in the Blazer, no problem, so it shouldn't have too big of an issue, I don't think. Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can do the same on this side and not tear everything apart. I think I removed all the screws that I need to. It's really not too hard, as long as you're careful about pulling it off and just try not to break anything, really. You have to remove the seatbelt retractor. Well, that's not the retractor. The retractor's down here. That's the holder for it. And this thing actually moves. I didn't know that. Whatever. Yeah, and 2 screws hold that thing on, and then there's 2 more screws behind that hold it to the wall. There's a screw down here, and of course to get the rear seat out, all you got to do is pull 2 15mm bolts, one on that side and one on this side. And then if you're just replacing speakers, you don't have to pull this thing out of here. But yeah, I think it wouldn't be too hard to pull the headliner out of here right now either. I just have to pull this down and pull this handle off and pull the visors off again, and the headliner would come right down. So if I wanted to do something on the roof right now, it'd be really simple to do. But as you can see, there's no seat in the back of my truck right now. Surprisingly, getting this back panel off, I did not break anything. I've been reading online that it's the one that you break the most. I guess I break that mold. Anyway, yeah. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with these R's. If I'm going to keep them or sell them. I do know that the box is probably going to go, because there's just really no room for it in here. And this jack box, I'm trying to get this friggin' stud out, but God, it's being such a pain. Because while it does have a sort of a nut head, really, not really, because you can't get a driver down there to wrench on it. So I've been trying to pull the darn thing off with a pair of channel lock pliers. These things right here, and it ain't working very well. Let's just put it that way. I've got it just that much, and it won't move now, so. So I'm just gonna get into the other speaker, and then I'm going to run a power wire from the front, because I'm gonna put some radio stuff back here. And I'm halfway considering taking some of my aught gauge wire from upstairs in the attic and maybe doing something for a future amp in here. If I'm gonna have everything out of here, why shouldn't I just do something, you know? But yeah, so that's what's up right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thing out, and we're gonna go from there. Man, I tell you what, they do not make these things easy to get out. First of all, there's 5 tabs up behind the window. Well, I got those all off without breaking anything. Oh, and as you notice, I got this side off too. I didn't break anything on this side, whereas I did break the one that goes into that hole. This one, all of them just came off without the clips, so the clips just stayed in the holes and the panel just came off. And I've got it all thrown outside right now. And same thing over here, yeah. But right now, I'm trying to get this piece down. Well, I got all of these snaps off, all 5 of them. Well, there's 3 more up in the roof. Well, that one appears to have stayed in the metal. This one has come loose over here. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, you can see that one. And then I've got my pair of pliers up in this one. And I'm going to try to just smack it a little bit and hope it comes loose without breaking, because I'm not sure what the status of the middle one is. And then I go with a little bit of a twist, and I can't see it. Well, I'll come back. It's gonna come down either broken or in one piece. I don't know yet. Okay, it would appear I didn't break it. Now, yeah, it's like slid up into the roof there. I mean, come on. They wanted to make this impossible to do. I swear my Blazer was never this hard to get the stuff out of. God, ridiculous as all get out. It looks like they're just kind of glued on in the middle. This one's just come unglued, but this one seems to have stayed on pretty well. Yeah. Well, looks like all the clips stayed in the roof on this one too. Oh, look, the headliner wants to fall off on me. All right, well, that's the end of that. Oh, got my S's in both sides. They're both working fantastically. I got bass like I can't even imagine. I'm not afraid of blowing up a pair of speakers anymore, because this deck can't put out the amount of power that these speakers can take. It's not possible. This deck is not rated for it unless I want to blow up the deck before I blow up the speakers. I don't know. It'll probably clip out before it gets to that point. But anyway, yeah, I'm taking everything out of here right now because I've decided I'm just going to clean up the interior a little bit to get a little bit of this dust out of here. I mean, geez, it's ridiculous how much dust there is in this truck. I mean, yeah, sure, it's 15 years old, but come on. No, it's not even 15, it's 17 and a half, maybe even 18 years old. Well, I guess I can kind of expect a little bit of dust from all that time, but yeah, I digress. Oh, that didn't feel so good. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the entire headliner out of here. I'm just gonna tear everything apart and call it good. And just throw everything in the back. Yay, I love my split window too. That's just great. I can just throw it in the back and not even think twice about it. Oh, stretch out my legs because I've been cramped up in the back of this truck for the last hour. Yeah, the things I do for the sake of doing it. Alright, well, let's get back to work. My battery's gonna die here soon anyway, it looks like.